All right, hello everyone. It is week 6 complete. For those who don't know me, I'm the Pathwalker. I upload weekly videos on how I'm trying to improve myself in all aspects of life. And it's very, experimental, trying new things, new strategies. But I talk about what I did in the last week, and I talk about what my plans are for the next week. In this case, it's going to be the next 2 weeks, and I'll explain why. But yeah, I do some reflections, and it's mainly for an accountability for myself, but I hope that other people can find some form of uh, benefit to what I'm saying. And yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to keep this video not too long. So, I do apologize. Normally, I really want to upload on Sunday evenings. Um, I had a rough weekend, unfortunately, and it kind of extended into Monday, Tuesday. And we're Wednesday right now. We're Wednesday, it's 3 p.m. Um, and I don't know why I kept delaying it. I knew I could have uploaded earlier, but I'll get into what happened. So let's talk about what happened in this last week because there's definitely some good stuff. So let's talk about the good. Um, Healthy self-talk. We definitely had moments again. I like to talk about this. Healthy self-talk to me is all about when I'm not feeling good, kind of just talking to myself and like I'm having a dialogue with myself, like, okay, my name's Max. I'll go, hey, okay, Max, what's going on right now? And I had some of that I definitely did, especially um, on the Tuesday, like Monday night into Tuesday. That was a rough time because I was really struggling with urges for pornography, masturbation, which is a big thing that I'm working on, and I was able to overcome it. And and I was talking to myself. I did a lot of self-talk that had me overcome that. And I felt really good because I was making really good progress. Um, I ended up getting to actually, um, I think last week I was at 9 days in a row, kind of like being like sober. Um, and the goal is to get to 90 days because that's what I need to do, and it's like a whole zero everything. And I was excited because I was like, okay, just getting past a week is hard for me, and I was already past a week at that point. So I made it up until 14 days, so exactly 2 weeks, and then things fell off. And this is where kind of a very good week really started to kind of ended not too good. And it kind of carried over into the next week because now I'm Wednesday and my Monday, Tuesday, I'm not happy with how they went. Healthy sleep. So we actually did have some days that sleep was good, but we had some days where it was not good. And I don't think I think that there's a lot of correlations between how this went here in my days and how this went here. For those who don't know, I have like some of these have like 7 pluses or minuses, and plus means I hit the goal, and minus means I didn't. So it was Saturday, Sunday that we messed it up. Healthy sleep, we had it from Wednesday to Saturday where we didn't have good sleep. And the sleep was very just all over the place. And it really started actually, and I know what triggered it. I ended up just having a really long phone call with a friend that went just so late. And I talked to them, and um, this is not happening anymore. Like I'm not doing it anymore. And that's actually going to, but I'm getting ahead of myself. That's what I'm going to talk about with my future goals. Quality family time. I was able to get both time with both sides of my family. Having fun in another room. Here's another big one. Another big one. So we had the first 3 days we were excellent. We had it in the basement, and then we stopped. We didn't have it anymore on Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Saturday morning. And I don't think it's a coincidence that that's when we messed up over here with the porn. and I'll talk a little bit more about that. I did have some meditations. I don't know how I feel about the meditations as much. It was something new that I've been doing. I'm not as crazy about it. I do notice that I do kind of feel good about it, but I don't know. I feel like some form of meditative practice is good, but the one that I was doing, which was from Dr. Joe Dispenza, it's interesting. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I struggle sometimes to get into the right mindset, I think, when I'm doing it. I do definitely want to incorporate some form of meditation, reflection, and I think I know what it is that I'm going to be doing kind of going forward. We did have sometimes we had a morning routine where we did good. It wasn't perfect, but it was okay. Again, these are the way we separate these is these are the main things we really want to hit, and this is the stuff that it'd be good if we hit, but it's not that bad if we don't hit. And overall, if I'm honest to myself, especially compared to last week, the only thing that we had the week prior that we did perfect was this. We had no porn, no sexual stimulation. That was perfect. But there was like negatives with sleep, with phone, and no meditation. And I'm happy to see that there's more pluses. So clearly, it actually was a better week on that front. I also was eating relatively healthy, which I'm happy about. Working out, I got two really solid workouts in, and it's funny. I'm starting to do this thing now where I'm actually live streaming my workouts on my Twitch channel. Um, in case you're wondering, I'm still not sharing my Twitch. I'm not connecting my Twitch channel and my YouTube. I don't want these two spaces to be connected just yet, but it really helped me stay motivated because of like I'm live streaming it. I'm not like I was fully. I had a timer on as like 3 minute or 5 minute rest, whatever have you, between sets. It was excellent. It kept me accountable. I was able to do so much in like an hour's worth of time. It was awesome, and I feel like actually doing that again right after I finish this video. New adventures. Yes, this was awesome. So I ended up going to another social dance event. I actually went to, I think, two social dance events. And, or was it two or was it one? I think it was one actually, but it was a great social dance event. It was my biggest one. Yeah, for those who don't know, I started learning salsa and bachata um, about a month ago, and I've been loving it. It's a new hobby, and it's great for just developing a new skill, meeting people, socializing, and now I actually have a new friend group from it, which who I've been hanging out with. And basically, what happened was last Friday I hung out with some of my friends, and I went to this thing, and it was an awesome event, and I would consider that a new adventure that that I had. Definitely also was me being social and romantic progress. I would say in this case, I was very open. Like that was the time where I danced with the most women I've ever danced with. Every song I just danced with someone new, and I wasn't too interested like looking for just the girls I thought cute. I was like whoever just happened to be there. Sometimes an older lady or whatever, and I was just there just dancing, focused on my moves, having a good time, and just time just flied. And then I went down. Yeah, I mainly do bachata. Bachata is the one that I actually know more moves for, although that's why I need to practice my salsa more. But the truth is, in the lessons that I'm taking, I just don't know that many salsa moves, so that's the problem. But I still went to go salsa, and I actually met someone on my last dance. It happened to be a really pretty girl, or I don't know what it was, but I just really connected with her, and I complimented her like immediately. I got to know her name. Unfortunately, I forgot to ask her number. Uh, I was just like kind of in a trance almost. But I was happy that my mind and the exposure that I had and being so comfortable with asking women to dance was clearly a big difference from where I was a month ago. So I'm happy to see this progress, and that's why I consider this a plus. Okay, so we did go to a social dance event. Progress. I see. One of our goals was good progress on clearing the basement room. I have a basement room where essentially I want to set up my live streaming setup in the basement, but it's completely filled to the brim with things, and it needs to be cleared out. I did do one thing, which was we have a lot of stuff, extra stuff that we just want to donate. So I was able to actually grab a decent amount of stuff and bring it to a Salvation Army. and just donated it. So I was happy, at least I did some kind of clearing, but I didn't really do more than that. So that's why it's not quite as much as I want, but at least I did something. Stream at least 4 times this week. I did stream 3 times, not four, but at least, we're getting there better than not as much, not that much. Complete Business Idea Foundation. I'm so happy it is. I kept wanting to do this for so long. I finally just wrote out the plan for this business idea I have that I'm not currently at as of this moment wanting to do. I'm focused on other things, but I wanted to just have the whole plan laid out, kind of how I would tackle this. What are the necessary steps? What needs to be done? And I finally did it. And I have like a nice Google Doc with my friend for it. Good progress on Japan trip. So I did talk to my cousin who I'm going to be going to Japan for about a little over a month with in August. And I ended up kind of talking to him. We figured out kind of the general cities that we're going to be going on. The plan became more concrete. And I started doing some research on activities to do in the areas that I want to do, kind of building an itinerary. I would have liked to have done more than just what I did, but at least, again, I did something, so I'm happy about that. I also wrote my morning mantra, which I'm not going to show exactly what is written on, but it's a whole page long, and I haven't been reading it every day. I started reading it some days, but it's essentially some positive things that uh, I'm choosing to tell myself, and I want to read it out loud every single day because I think it just refocuses me, gets my mind thinking about the things it should be, going through the hardships, telling myself that I'm a good person deep down because I struggled with a certain sense of self-worth and self-esteem, and just a really good kind of focus on life in general, but also kind of what I want to do today, like in the moment, as of this moment. I might make a new one, as my life changes and the goals and the general stuff that I'm focusing on change. But it's really good. It's very positive, lots of positive words. A lot of it is I'm speaking in the first person, and I would recommend trying something like that. Again, it was just, I typed it out first, then I wrote it down, and it's something that's good for me to kind of just talk about in my head. Okay, so that was week 6. So very positive, but then what was the real problem? Right at the very end, we didn't like all that stuff happened kind of in the early portions of the week. But then the pornography hit. And how did it hit? And this is what I want to talk about. It really hit. Let me just change to full cam mode. It really hit when I was tired. I didn't sleep too much, and then on like on a Friday night, and then I woke up, and then I kind of went back to because I had to wake up for something early Saturday morning, so I didn't get that much sleep. And then I got back home, and then I kind of just lied down. I don't even know if I rested a bit or I was just tired, but I was in that tired kind of state, and my phone was next to me, and that's when it slipped. And what's unfortunate is, I was 2 weeks in and I was telling myself and working on it, like, hey, be active, like, don't give into it. And it kind of just happened. And my only response really that at least I can try to stay hopeful for is I can have a more of a plan to act on. And that plan is essentially this. I am never going to lie down in my bed with my phone in my room. I'm just like, period. That's never going to happen. Whether it's taking a nap, whether it's, whenever I'm going to sleep, my phone will never be in my room when I'm tired and taking a nap. I don't want it. It's not just for the pornography, but also just avoids for me like scrolling on my phone, wasting time, and, the blue light and all that. But I'm really going to make sure that that's something that I'm doing now. The other thing is to me, and it's such a meme at this point if people have known this channel before. Uh, but I am hopefully finally, going to put sleep as such a big priority. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So, oh, by the way, I don't know if I talked about it. I think this is the first time I had it in the background of my screen here, but um, this is just my background. It used to be the same kind of background, but I added this text, which is a man is what he thinks about all day long. I think it's just a very positive idea, or not positive, but it's a real thing to think about sometimes because what you're thinking about on a regular basis, I think, has such an impact on your mood and how your day really goes. And at the end of the day, kind of is who you are, right? What is it that you're thinking about all the time? And that's who you end up being. Are you thinking about positive things? Are you thinking about negative things? Are you thinking about indulgent things? Are you thinking about things that help others? Are you thinking about wanting to improve yourself? Are you thinking about, growth as a person? Are you thinking whatever it might be? And I wanted, and it kind of reminds me of like, what am I thinking about on a regular basis? What is occupying my mind? Is it things that I want? Is it things that are healthy? Is it things that I'm happy? Because those things kind of define who you are. And that's that. I mean, that's what this saying is. So I just heard a guy say it, and it really connected with me, and something to think about. Let me get to what's going to happen here. So why am I talking about week 7, 8? Because that's what the video after this video is going to be about. I'm going on a trip to Mexico this Friday. So we're Wednesday right now. Friday morning, I'm going to be leaving for Mexico, and I'm going to be getting back Thursday of next week. So almost a week I'll be in Mexico, which I'm excited for. I'll be with my family, um, and it'll be just a nice time. Nothing crazy, but I'm all about doing new experiences. Haven't done quite some. I've never been to Mexico before. Been to the Caribbean before, but never Mexico. And so because I won't be present here to upload a video, I'm just kind of gonna bunch up these 2 weeks together. I normally don't want to do something like this, but this is a time that I will have to do this. So we're going to change some things here. And the number one is this. We are changing the whole priority checklist to this. Oh, not quality family time. Oops, that was a mistake. What am I doing? What am I? Okay. Healthy sleep is going to be the number one priority. We're also going to change meditate in the morning to walking outside in bare feet and breathing, meditating. So this is different. I'm changing it up right now. Instead of it being me listening to a video by Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm going to essentially walk outside as early as I can in the morning, which will be part of my new morning routine. I'm going to walk barefoot, just something about the grounding effect. I heard about it, but it feels nice. It feels more natural to me. I like it. And as the weather starts to get warmer now, it'll be easier to do this. And essentially, I'm just going to get on my bare feet, and I'm going to look at the sky. It helps wake me up more, and I'm going to start breathing and focus on my breathing and getting mindful in my mind and thinking about. Before I do that, I'm going to think about what I want to accomplish that day, and then when I do that, I'm going to just think about my breathing. Think about still incorporating similar tactics that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, which is imagining I have the things that I want right now, and I really imagine it and really focus on that feeling. So that'll be my goal. And I just think it's good, a really healthy way to start my day and helping my mind get into the place of thinking about the things it wants to do. Because the whole idea about this is the more you think about things that whatever you start thinking about, your mind, your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions all orient themselves towards that. If you keep thinking about something, your actions are relating to that. And so the idea is if you start thinking about positive things about what you want to be doing, about anything you want to achieve, you're more likely to figure out solutions and creative ways to solve whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's the theory behind it, at least, and I thought I'd give it a shot. And obviously, I'll let you guys know how that goes. Um, Now, I'm going to still leave things here. Um, Unfortunately, no porn or sexual stimulation. I'm going to start it off right now. We already kind of messed up Monday, Tuesday. Not in a really bad way, but I think, again, it's one of those things of after I go through a long streak and I finally gave in and I try to restart, I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. I could always start again. Let me just enjoy this moment now. But unfortunately, that can get carried on. I really hope that today, so far so good. Wednesday, this will be my first day where we continue towards the journey of getting 90 days completely clean. Um, I'll leave everything else here. One thing I'm going to slash for now is learning Japanese. I'm not going to have that as a priority. I don't even want to like put it right now. I have other things that I'm focusing on. I care way more about. I'm gonna focus a lot more about um, the like Twitch streaming angle a lot more. So because I haven't been doing as much as I want, I really want to do a lot more. Now, one and dones. I'm going to say go to at least 2 social dance events. Um, since I don't really, since I have most of the time right now from Wednesday up until next week, I don't know if I want to necessarily focus on the clearing the basement right now. I think I'm gonna prioritize getting during these next 2 weeks. I'm going to want to stream today, tomorrow, and at least I'm gonna say at least 3 times in this next little while. Stream at least 3 times. This is done now. Oops. Good progress on Japan trip, very important. And I'm going to say socialize with multiple new people in Mexico. We're going to be, that's the goal right now. So we're going to be doing, um, because I really need to do that. Again, I'm not, my mindset when it comes to romantic stuff is I'm not about casual type of relationships. I'm about really kind of the idea of dating to marry. So I'm not really thinking that any person kind of that I'd meet in Mexico, like that kind of is an attitude. You know, you could go to one of these things and be like, oh, do you do like one night stands or something like that? I'm not interested in that. I'm still open-minded. Maybe I meet the love of my life there. You never know, right? But my goal is to just kind of socialize with more people. It'd be nice to just be more comfortable again with women. That's something that I've been working more towards, and I feel like I am doing that, uh, at least in the last little while as I kind of learned I started dancing more, and I really like that. But that is the plan. So we're right about around 20 minutes, a little bit more. That's okay, considering I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I'm feeling overall good. Again, unfortunate that we ended the week in a negative way and started the new week kind of in a rough way where my sleep is just so off. But, and I didn't really talk about this now, so thank goodness I remembered. I'm really going to be prioritizing healthy sleep. And healthy sleep, to define it even better, I've defined it before, but for me, I'm still debating about whether I want my sleep time to be between, like, start time between 10 a.m. or midnight. I do want it to be one of those things, with exceptions on a weekend or something I could go later, but like a special outing or something with friends. But I want to be very as consistent as I can with going to sleep. Like for now, let's just say 11 p.m. and then I wake up at 7 a.m. Like I would like to really be as solid and close as I can to those numbers and get those 8 hours of sleep every single day. And that is the number one priority. And I believe that that was the biggest factor that led to me breaking my streak of no porn or masturbation. I think that that's what caused me to slip into that direction because I was just tired. My phone was around me. I'm obviously going to make sure that I'm never sleeping with my phone in my room in any case. But I know that me just being tired is and in a bed is really a breeding ground, kind of, if that makes sense, to getting in that headspace to break it. So my goal is to restart the streak. Let's get back to 2 weeks again, make new progress 3 week four. Once I get to 4 weeks, so 30 days of that, we are officially in new territory. I've never gone that long, and I'm really excited. And I really hope I can get there because again, I think it says so much about my evolution and transformation in a positive direction because it's showing that I'm feeling better about myself and I don't need this escapist activity of self-pleasure. I'm able to be strong, and yeah. So that's where I'm at. Thank you for listening. I hope I have a good time in Mexico. I'll update you guys obviously on what happens, but I'm not going to be uploading this Sunday. I'll be uploading next Sunday, which will be April 26th. I also have a new haircut. I'm actually going to clean shave soon, so there's a little sneak peek. I'm shaving because I'm going to be tanning a little bit, when I'm in Mexico, and I don't like the idea of because I'm gonna be clean shaving anyways. I want to be clean shaven when I tan. Otherwise, there'll be like a weird tan line. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.